Let's go! Who dat nation? How do you feel about how Tyler Shough performed today versus the Miami Dolphins? I know in the boot it's all about a train heading to BR, but the bottom line in Miami, it was a tough loss for the Saints. But I think a lot of you are celebrating because of the draft position. Bring on Arvell Reese, baby. So you have third and Metairie here, and obviously Tyler Shough steps up and he elects to just take this check down until I get my all 22. I won't know if this indeed was the right option, but it's never really that bad of an option, giving number 83, Mr. Juwan Johnson, a chance to make a play after the catch. We are short, and we have to. All right, 2nd and 8, and this becomes a very interesting proposition for the Saints. They have Devaughn Vele, who is a bigger wide receiver, stay in to block, and now his job right here is to block a Minkah Fitzpatrick running at full speed. Minkah had himself a ball game in this game versus the Houdats, and it's just too much for Shuck to deal with, okay? Could he get to this check down right here to Foster Moreau? Yeah, we could hear that out, but now he's stripped, okay? And, well, Vele's got to do a better job of blocking. That's also just a really difficult assignment right there for Vele there. So it's hard to put too much blame on Tyler Shough. So Kool-Aid makes this thing called a play, and we are here. Really, really, really good quarterbacking from Tyler. Freaking what the Shuck is going on. Works quick behind this pocket, hits the in-breaker. Look at this ball location. Boom. Okay? There is no separation right here. Look at where that ends up getting placed. That's a better play by the DB, if anything. Alrighty, we get to here, and you get a shallow drag from Chris Olave being run. You have it out and up from Mr. Juwan Johnson. Shuck doesn't want this, okay? Obviously, if he sticks, I said it was an out and up. It was just an out. Excuse me. If he sticks with this ends up being a pretty big gain right here to Juwan. He gets off of it. This to Olave is there. He doesn't want to throw it. But because the pass protection here is really, really, really good, Shuck has room to run. So he tucks that bad boy and gets upfield. Obviously, this is a small portion of his game, but it's there. This interception is one of the more common interception for younger quarterbacks, right? This is an Ohio concept where you're running a vertical here and an out from the slot. And the hard thing about running something like this versus a good corner is he knows how to rob this. Okay, so your job right here is to read this corner. If this corner runs with the vertical, we want to throw this out. It's a free 5 yards, if you will. If you are making this throw quickly, though, the corner, even if he is playing true quarters, can jump on this. And that's exactly what happens to Olave. And boom. Okay, we're going the other way. Really bad INT. In this spot, Shuck has obviously really good arm talent. You can throw a hole shot versus this, but this corner just plays it really well. Okay, so when you're running this versus NFL corners, this ball has got to be delivered quickly. You can see his feet aren't quite fully set yet. And, this is just, ugh. Now, you as a quarterback, you have one job to do here, all right? We want to cut this back to the inside where we might have some people blocking for us, and that's exactly what happens. That's a good job by Tyler to prevent the touchdown from happening, and a good job by the offensive lineman to bring him down. All right, so the sign that the Saints aren't really a good team at all is they rarely do start fast, right? It's not just a Spencer Rattler problem. He never scored in first quarters, and much less first halves. So now, coverages change when you have a 16-point lead. Your mentality changes, and that's all you really need to loosen up NFL defenses. Here we go, 2nd and 8, and we get to hear from Mr. Tyler the Shuck, okay? Corner right here is inside leverage on Devaughn Vele. Looks like he's trying to run the quick out. All right, I would be scarred about that if I've already thrown a pick on that. We can work through this, though. So obviously this would be your first read of the progression. Then we could go to here, and this ball is probably getting there, but instead Shuck decides to step up into this pocket and extend this play. Okay, so extending this play is part of his game. It's not elite when it comes to his repertoire, but he's pretty good at it, and obviously his arm is really, really, really good. Boom. Throws it in a good spot right there for Vele. We get another scramble drill right here from Tyler Shough. We have a flat route in-breaker combo right here. Shuck decides to eat this football right here to Mason Tipton. So what's crazy here is this isn't there. Okay, so now if we work over here, boom, this to Olave is here. Okay, so we probably want to throw this. Still Tyler Shough, 2 hands on the football. He steps up. Olave has a really good scramble drill route into the open space. So we still also want this to be a part of his game, and it works out in the end. Touchdown. 2-pointer. This is a really, really, really good call right here from Kellen Moore. Okay, so we forced them to have 4 over 3 to this side. So now, instead of actually handing this football off, we're going to give Shuck a foot race to the pylon. Okay, so now we just need him to get on his horse right here and pick up this touchdown, and he's able to do just that. Really good stuff. All right, this 3rd and 2 was very, very, very fascinating from a Saints perspective. They're on a lot of vertical stuff here, way past the sticks, which once again is very interesting. It's hard for me to see if anything is truly open, but the timing of this is just off. Okay, so once we get to here, ball probably should be to here, but once again, it's hard to go from here all the way around to your check down right here. It was doable. Pocket was good enough, so Shuck elects to extend this, and, well, we could have done better on this double to not allow Bradley Chubb to split it, and he makes a huge sack here. Cutting out a lot of Tyler Shough throws. It was a lot of empty yardage throws where the defense is playing really, really, really soft, and he's driving the football up and down the field. There was one where he picked up about 40 yards passing. So these numbers at the end of this game ended up being a lot better than one would think. And we see here that he decides to throw this back shoulder throw to Mason Tipton. This pocket is indeed really good. And if he had actually gotten off of this to Vele looks open. But that's difficult, right? Back shoulder throw, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just really nowhere close to him at all. Okay, so Saints kick a field goal, and, well, you're able to, of course, cut this lead down to 8, and now Tyler Shough gets a 2-minute drill to go win this game. 8-point lead defenses tend to be a little bit softer than 7. Once again, that's very anecdotal, but you get a first down here, and then, my goodness gracious, what a good piece of quarterbacking right here from Shuck on this 3rd and 6. The protection, for the most part, for the Saints was fine. It wasn't great in this game, but he's able to get a nice completion here to Chris Olave to move the sticks. Good stuff. Really good game for Vele. Once again, some of his catches were versus very soft coverage. That's basically what happens here on this slant, but that's a big benefit of having him, right? He's a bigger target. And then we get to here. Arguably the best play of Tyler Shough's young career. This is some of the stuff we saw in the Carolina Panthers game. Once again, the protection here is really, really, really good for the Saints. Shuck elects to roll out here to the right side and throw on the run a little floater here to Vele, okay? Kind of a weird throw. You could see that this had this DB really off kilter, and Vele's able to drag that back foot. Really good stuff. Okay, Saints have a false start penalty, and now it is a 2-point conversion from the 7, and that obviously changes things quite a bit for the Saints, okay? So just based on this alignment, Olave gets doubled down here, and it does open up a pocket of space for Vele to run across. This isn't the worst read. It's just NFL DBs are just so good, and you could see Minkah's able to undercut this, and the pressure was immense. Okay, Kelvin Banks gets beat right here by Bradley Chubb. The ball needed to be thrown. Once again, this is a pick going in the opposite direction that does get returned for a 2-pointer. I just don't think that's the worst thing, all things considered. It's not his fault there was a false start before this play actually happened. Let's get the onside kick, and then we get to here. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a freaking throw again from Tyler Shough. You're given a golden opportunity to go down here and win the game. Obviously, you would prefer to only be down 2 because this throw right here pretty much would have probably won you this football game. Man, I get to here, And God, this is just really, really, really good awareness right here by Shuck. All right, they're playing way back with the 4-point lead. Let's just play easy check down football right here with Devaughn Vele. And now you pick up all these yards, and there you go. Nasty work right here from the Saints. And so I'm going a little viral on Twitter. Please give me a follow at Carter the Power because I'm not going to play it. You can go to my Twitter account. Chris Olave had one of the worst drops. You will see, once again, it wasn't the worst drop, but there have been quite a few Olave drops, in particular in the red zone, when it comes to ball tracking and all that stuff. And you get to this 3rd and 1 by the Saints, okay? And, well, once again, you had this out combo with the vertical, and I just don't get why Shuck did not throw this football to Olave. Could he have been spooked by the drop on the play before? Sure. Could he have been spooked by the pick 6 a little bit earlier? Sure. Okay. This pocket is good enough, and we have our best receiver on an interior defensive back. Throw it. Okay. Give him a shot. All right. But instead, in a good pocket, he essentially panics and just throws this football away. Okay. What I think happened here is he was so weird about not taking a sack. And he gets antsy. I've never really thought, just based on his college tape, that pocket movement was one of his strengths. It wasn't the worst, but ugh. And then we get to here on this 4th and 1 call. So, long story short, Tyler Shough was fine in this game for a rookie. I still don't think he is a franchise quarterback, but you see that the vision is there, right? There is something to be said about this man. Now, I hate this 4th down call. I hate this call. Do you want me to say it again? I despise this 4th down call, all right? You are down by 4. So if I'm the Dolphins, even if you do get this, okay, so really think about this with only one timeout left. You are down by 4. The conversion here is not as important as scoring a touchdown. So let's just say you run this QB sneak. There's going to be a pileup after the sneak. All right, so let's just say you pick up this 1st down. And by the way, I've called out some of the other game management Kellen Moore decisions in the past. So let's just say you pick this up. All right, don't even pay attention to them getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. You pick it up, all right, and guess what? Let's just say he got right here and it was a clear 1st down. Well, you're giving the Dolphins a chance to slowly pull themselves off the pile. So you have no less than minimum 10 more seconds that'll get burned off before you have to burn your final timeout. And then, of course, if you before you can have a chance to spike it. Or you have the option of burning your final timeout, which leaves you with no timeouts left, and you can't really work the middle of the field, right? You're down by 4. You're in a lot of trouble here anyway. So the QB sneak call, even if you get it, is a bad call. So there you go. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about Tyler Shough, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! Tonight, we're doing chicken.